So now that the dust has settled a little bit on Warren Gatland's side, and there's been a lot of controversy about some of his selections and his omissions, more importantly. But what we haven't really heard a lot about is what really constitutes success in this year's Six Nations. So I wanted to do this video, give my opinion, but sort of like have it as a question as well to see like what you or us as a Welsh rugby public and supporters would constitute as a successful Six Nations. I mean, like I said, they've not come out with any sort of target or anything like that, and the WRU probably are not going to, because it puts a little bit of extra pressure and maybe even more of a target on Gatland's back. Say, for example, if they say we want 2 wins and we only get 1, then there's going to be even more talk about, is Gatland going to go? But for me, I think a lot of the discussion has been around this Italy game, and everyone's saying that's the game we have to win. That is the game we have to target, and I do agree we have to target that one. But to me, that beating Italy, even though I think we're probably even par with them at the moment, I still don't think that constitutes as a successful Six Nations. That's a tongue twister. I guess you could say if we beat Italy and we're competitive in all of the games, then you have to sort of define competitive. Do we push every team really close and could have effectively won more or less every game, and we got one win against Italy? I would say that's probably a successful Six Nations, because we would have seen some real extreme growth from where we have been. But to me, I think 2 wins is the minimum to save his job. If he gets 1 win, I don't think that is right for us as a Welsh public and as fans. And fans pay a lot of money to go and watch these games, especially in the Six Nations. For us to be only happy with winning 1 game, I don't think that's a success for me. I know Sean Hawley has come out and said success is 3 wins. I don't see that being a possibility. 1 is going to be difficult enough, let alone 2, given the track record over the recent year and particularly in the autumn. So I'd like to know what you guys think on this one, because this is like it's a really sort of like nebulous one, because 2 wins, but they were all terrible performances and we don't see any growth in performance, but we somehow managed 2 wins. Is that still success? I guess so, because I mean we won the wooden spoon last year, losing every game. So anything that is better than that is of course improvement. A win against Italy, 1 win, is improvement from where we were, but I don't think that counts as success. Maybe if we see a win against one team, whether it be Italy, whether it be England at home, which other people have said we could potentially target. I think maybe 1 win, and then you see like the real emergence of Dan Edwards, who's going to get game time, and we see him play and he instantly steps up to the international scene and he just looks comfortable straight away. That would be obviously really a good thing, and I guess that might vindicate Gatland slightly. Outside of like individual players coming through, 1 win's not enough for me, and I don't think we should accept 1 win as success, because it's not. Even if we get 1 win, we still could finish the bottom of the table, depending on the bonus points and stuff like that. So yeah, maybe if we finish 4th, I would be willing to accept that as a good season and we see some players developing. But anything other than that, I think we still should look to move on from Gatland. I don't think the WRU will. I'll be interested to see what it takes for him to actually get sacked. I think if he gets 1 win, they can then say, oh, well, we improved from last year, and I don't think they'll get rid of him. If we don't win any games and get the wooden spoon 2 years in a row, I don't see how any way they can sell the public and even themselves. I mean, who are they kidding at the moment? They keep parroting that he's a world-class coach and stuff like that, but to me, he's completely just lost it now at this point. And I really do love everything and appreciate everything he's done in the past, but no bad blood. It's just time for him to go. It's just he's not fit for purpose anymore. So unless he has a real big push and some good performances over the Six Nations and get some wins, I think we need to, look elsewhere. But I would be interested to see if the WRU are brave enough to sack him if he gets one win, because he's obviously going to say, again, we've improved. This is only going to be a short one, but I wanted to touch on some of the theories that have come out about the Anscombe situation. So, of course, this has been probably the biggest topic with the squad. There has been some talk, a lot of the Max Llewellyn getting left out, but the main chat has been about Anscombe, and there's been a few theories come out. So Gatland basically came out and said it was because of his age, and you can sort of understand that because he is old. He's probably not going to be around for the next World Cup, which you agree with. And Gatland said that himself. But then when you look at the other players he's brought back into the squad, Liam Williams, Faletau, they're the same age. So that one doesn't really hold up because, you're bringing other players in, but you're saying he's too old. So that one doesn't stack up for me. The other one that he did mention was now that there's only 2 outside halves, they're going to get a lot of reps. Apparently they were tight on squad size because they were going to have some sort of camp in France. So he's saying we've got 2 10s now and they're going to get a huge amount of reps, which I, again, agree with. I think is a good idea in theory because you get a young player who's never played international rugby and he's going to get a lot of chance to go through some reps, build some familiarity. Ben Thomas, who hasn't played 10 all season, we'll go back to that, but he's going to get more chance to run that position again, which he ran in the summer. So I can sort of understand that one, but to me, that still doesn't stack up because you need an experienced player to sort of lean on, and Dan Edwards might run through a couple of things, and then Anscombe could be sat back watching and say, oh, try it this way next time. And that's the type of ways you learn. Anyone who's played rugby or really done sport, which is part of a team or even like a martial art, when you've had a good training partner or a good teammate who's just gone, oh, try doing it this way or tweak it this way, an experienced player, sometimes that clicks so much more than a coach. So I don't really buy that one either. I understand what he said, but I don't think that makes sense to me because I think in the past, for example, in recent times, he brought Sam Parry into the squad as an extra camp body, but wasn't giving him any reps, and that's why Parry left, because he realised, well, I'm just surplus to retirement and I'm just here to make up the numbers. So he's clearly pointed out that he's not afraid to just ostracise a player and just have him there as a body. So, to me, that one doesn't really hold much water either. The interesting one that has gone around, which I've heard not many, but a couple of people say, is during the autumn, he had a fallout with the coaches. So I'm wondering if they've had this falling out. Anscombe keeps challenging them because he doesn't think things are going well, which they're not. And given his, under par performance in the autumn, you have to say, particularly by his high standards, that the coaches have gone, well, I think he's a little bit past him. I can't be bothered to deal with him constantly digging me out or questioning my authority or whatever. And they've just gone, let's just get him out of the squad completely and sort of thrown out the baby with the bathwater a little bit because they think, well, we'll just deal with, we can sort Dan Edwards out and we can sort Ben Thomas out to play 10. We'll take care of that and we'll just get the, problem out of the squad. This is just a theory. I have no evidence, but given sort of Gatland's history with having grudges against players, he ironically said, when he talked about Sam Parry in his press conference, he said, I'm not the type of person who holds grudges. Everyone who's followed his career knows that once he's sort of got something against a player that he doesn't like, he's sort of out and he doesn't care. So that was an interesting one to me, and that one sort of makes sense. And I've heard it off multiple different people have said that. So I don't know if one person's come up with it and spread it around, but I have heard that one. So yeah, that was an interesting one. And to me, that one seems like the most likely because even now still, when you look at other things that have come out, the Anscombe one still just doesn't make sense not to have him in the squad and just help those players nurture them through. The other interesting one was just a footnote was Cardiff are playing, as I record this on Friday, Cardiff are playing Connacht tonight in the Challenge Cup, and Ben Thomas is starting at 10, first start at 10 since the summer, I believe. So interesting one. Fair play to Matt Sherratt. He could easily have said no, but he's done Gatland a favour there, and going to get some minutes in Ben Thomas at 10. So it looks like he could be the start, more than likely be the starting 10 for the Wales game. Like I said, fair play to Sherratt, because putting Thomas at 10 and Sheedy onto the bench and bringing Jennings in, that's definitely weakened the Cardiff team, because Jennings is a tidy player, but he's not Ben Thomas. And Sheedy was rested last week, so it's not as if they're just giving Sheedy a rest. So that was an interesting one. So fair play to Cardiff, working with the WRU. I guess we wanted to see more of this, working closely together. But even still with that, it doesn't make sense to me, because after the Six Nations, he's not going to go back to the club and play 10. With Ioan Lloyd reportedly coming next year, there's still going to be no room for Ben Thomas to play 12. He himself has said he wants to play 12. So, just an interesting footnote. Probably next week now I'll bring out my squad, who I would pick for the Wales team to face France. And then it'll be the squad announcement. So it'll come around quick. But thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.